Matthew 5:10 states, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." For millions of faithful around the globe, Christian persecution is an everyday reality. Catholic values such as truth, freedom, and justice are replaced with fear, repression, and the loss of human dignity. The numbers paint a grim picture. Almost 65% of the world's population, that's almost 5.4 billion people, live in countries with serious or very serious violations of religious freedom. Primarily, Christians are persecuted because of their faith, but economic and political situations deepen the problem. In some countries, Christians can be seen as a threat to the ruling government, and persecution is a way to maintain control. In places such as Nigeria and Iraq, religious intolerance is a factor. In Nigeria, the violence is primarily driven by various militant groups in the Muslim majority of the North and Middle Belt regions. While in Iraq, Christians face ongoing displacement due to the actions of groups like ISIS. EWTN News Nightly Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales recently attended a panel discussion focusing on what Catholics face in those regions of the world and what the future holds.
Good evening. A number of bills are making their way through Congress aimed at stopping the persecution of Catholics, specifically in Nigeria and Iraq, where many say a genocide is taking place. Recently, an event sponsored by the Knights of Columbus gave an eye-opening discussion with Catholic priests and others who are on the ground and have witnessed the murder and violent acts against the faithful firsthand.
You can see here the common calling card that ISIS left behind is a decapitated statue of Mary with both the hands cut off.
Stephen Rasha is the director of the Institute for Catholic Humanitarian Service at Franciscan University. In 2014, after ISIS attacked northern Iraq, Rasha worked as legal counsel for nearly 150,000 displaced Christians being taken care of by the Catholic Diocese of Erbil in Iraq. He tells me for 4 years he lived and worked among the people, documenting with photographs their struggles and pain.
All of these Christians living in these marginalized situations, they're human beings, you know, and our faith teaches us, above all else, the importance of the spark of human dignity that's in every one of us.
Father Karam Shamasha knows that struggle firsthand. In 2014, he and thousands of others were driven from their parish by ISIS. He says today in Iraq, ISIS is not as strong but still exists, and Christians are persecuted through discrimination.
Thanks to God, nowadays, there is no this group of ISIS that they are not exist in public. But unfortunately, there's still some mentalities that they are still thinking in the others like enemies.
Father adds from time to time, small groups of ISIS fighters will just appear in towns and villages and murder people of faith. Many are concerned one day they will rise again.
Thanks to God, we are still there. We are fighting to remain not just numbers in these countries, but we are fighting to, in fact, be a real member that can shine, that can give light to all the people that they are around.
Now, on to the topic of Nigeria.
During the panel discussion, Stephen Rasha also shared photographs of his work in Nigeria, where he helped run a Catholic healthcare facility and school. He says the mass kidnappings of women which took place in Nigeria a few weeks ago happens all the time, often unreported.
The people are just living in absolute fear of their own personal safety, inability to move around, inability to farm, all of these things really just cascading right now.
Catholic priests agree and add the persecution is taking place through government policy, like establishing Sharia law, and through physical violence from militant Islamic groups like the Boko Haram.
Christians are killed, Christians are kidnapped, complete destruction of Christian schools and churches and hospitals. As I speak, even so many priests have been kidnapped and killed, and a lot of them are still with the kidnappers in the bushes.
Right now, the greatest concern are for those living in refugee camps. Many see no future, and many are barely surviving with not enough to eat. Priests say the government, with the help of other countries, must act now.
There are children who are born in these IDP camps, who grew up in this war, who will get married in this war. And I think for us, that is really a very serious problem. We need to offer the psychological support, the behavioral therapy that are needed in order to help them to recover, not only physically, materially, but also spiritually.
Father says that the only way that the cycle will be broken is through a major change in the government. Despite it all, Father says that the Catholic faith in Nigeria is strong. It's now estimated that 35 million Catholics are in the country. Erik, Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.